What's up, guys? Yeah, I don't think I've ever done a stream this fast before in my life, but I saw Anna Paul, we'll call her that, dropped a what looks like it could be a an actual smoking gun document. Her post immediately said not is this or anything like that, said this is evidence that the CIA, I think she said the CIA, maybe the FBI, but it would have been all the intelligence agencies, would have known there was more than one shooter in JFK's assassination. So we're going to look at this right now. Like, I saw this pop up a half hour ago. I immediately went on. I created the thumbnail in like 5 minutes. Thank God I'm getting really good at Canva to do that. And I set the stream up, and here we are. I have not stopped moving in the last half hour. I'm still tempering my expectations because I had my expectations tempered when they said the JFK files are going to come out in the first place, because we already got screwed by the Epstein files. I still have hope. My fingers are crossed that we're not going to see the files, because hopefully what they're really doing right now is they're actually going through prosecutions right now with the people who had the evidence right there. With the JFK stuff, I had a good feeling. It's been so damn long. Most of the stuff that are really true incriminating, in other words, who really did it, is probably destroyed by now. But there's always going to be slip ups. For instance, a lot of people didn't even know this, but the last one, Trump did manage to get a lot of files released during his last administration. There is actually evidence in there. I know, conspiracy theory, tinfoil hat time, but there's actually a CIA document in there saying that they knew that Hitler was in Venezuela. I know that sounds fucking nuts, but trust me, if you ever look into that stuff, there's there's the tracking of the submarines, everything after his supposed death in Germany. There is a lot of evidence that shows he was taken to Venezuela along with a lot of his troops. Their entire German towns down there. I'm digressing, I know, but I'm very fucking excited about this. I see a lot of you popping in the chat already. Thank you guys so much for being here, including Linda Hall. I thought that was Linda. There's another Linda Hall, a very famous person. I'm guessing that's probably not you. But if you are a famous person, hey, welcome to Vets Talking. Yeah, Clinton says going live after all. I've been sick as fuck this week. And today I wasn't feeling that hot either. I was actually trying to relax, just have a couple of drinks and hope maybe I'll just pass the fuck out. I'm feeling okay. I'm definitely a little tipsy right now because I've had a little bit to drink. But I think I'm going to do okay. We're going to get through this. I'm going to read this stuff, man. All right. So I'm actually very excited about this. We got Chaya in the house. What's up, Chaya? So we just got started. I caught it on time. No shit. Yeah. You've been, whenever you show up, you seem to be late. Linda says, I'm glad. I thought I was doing something wrong trying to get this to come up, but here you are. Yeah, no, you're here. Trust me. I still don't know how you're over on the Twitter side. I still are X. I want to be respectful because I like Elon now. We're going to call it X purely out of respect. Especially since everybody wants to, destroy his vehicles, but white supremacy, we're the true domestic terrorists, right? Okay. Yeah. How often did you see us going out there and attacking Bud Light facilities and threatening the life of Dylan Mulvaney and all that other stupid ass shit? No, trust me, we're not the domestic terrorists. A serious man is in here. Says, "Don't drop the evidence. I want to see it." Don't drop the evidence. I'm gonna. Hopefully, this is actual evidence. That's what I'm hoping here. I'm gonna pull this up. Linda was quick. Had to unlock my phone. So, all right, God dang. So no shit. Like I said, I just got up. I did all this in a matter of 30 minutes. I'm pretty proud of myself. I think I might actually be turning into a decent YouTuber now. We're gonna get over here. I'm gonna pull up Anna Paulina Luna. Can we just call her Anna Luna? Why do we have to call her Anna Paulina Luna? It's not hyphenated. Is Paulina her middle name? If it is, why are we saying Anna Paulina Luna? I'm just going to call her Anna Luna. Here is her. Don't drop it. You might break it. Oh, I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. Serious, man. All right. So we're going to go through here. She dropped a bunch of stuff like right after. I have her. I recommend, there are only a few people that I will have notifications on for like stuff like X. Because some people just drop, 500 fucking posts a day. I love Crowder, but he'll fucking drop 500 posts a fucking day promoting on stuff. Same with fucking InfoWars and everything else. But Anna here, she drops really good stuff. Lisa, Pete Hegseth announced tomorrow, leading the way for future American power. Ooh, that sounds bad. They're going to try to sing this. Oh, that's white power. No, I did see this. It's going to be, I think, 11 o'clock Eastern tomorrow. Trust me, we're gonna get to the article. I promise you here really quick, but I want to go through here. This looks like, I don't know what the announcement is. What was it? Oh, they were talking about the possibility of some big announcement happening in the DoD coming up. Now I can't remember what it is, but if Trump and Hegseth are making an announcement tomorrow at the same time, I think we have something big coming up tomorrow. I think at 11 o'clock Eastern tomorrow. So I'll definitely be paying attention to that. God knows I'll probably be asleep and wake up to find out about that. Folger's legislature, impeach him, talking about, the activist judges. Yeah, we haven't talked about that. Here's one I saw, though. The Antifa riots for Trump's first term were also funded and organized. Now we have same fundraisers organizing for midterms. If they win, they will impeach Trump. And yeah, over here we have Soros and Soros's son, who is actually worse than George Soros. So yeah, these people are running the Democrats. They're running the left wing right now, and they are the true organizers of absolute fucking terrorism in our world right now. What is up, Mad? Mad Cheeseman's in the house, says Oscar Mike on the move. Now get in here, dude. I got the link in the fucking Vets Talking chat group. Get in here. Get your fucking ass in here. All right, let's scroll down here. Here is part 2. Where is part 1? Here it is. This one right here. This is the one I was looking at. This is the one that got me so fucking excited. This is the reason I made this fucking stream set up in record fucking time. Thank you all for being here. I love the fact that obviously you have notifications on, so I appreciate the fuck out of you. Anna Paulina Luna, who's running the, I can't remember what it's called, but the declassification fucking deal for the Trump White House. And she's been doing her best. And I think she's doing as good as she can. I think she's actively trying hard to make all this happen. By the way, we do still have drinking game rules. I got a bottle of whiskey next to me. I don't need to really pimp out for that. I've already had enough to drink tonight. But if anybody out there wants to be generous, you all know what to do. What's up, B. Benefield? Okay, so Anna says, this document confirms the CIA rejected the lone gun theory in the weeks after the JFK assassination. It's called the Daniel Heath memo to at Jefferson Morley for flagging this. This is part 1 of 2. So I'm gonna try to get through this, guys. I completely understand if this is gonna be a little dry. I'll try to I'll try to keep this uplifting and try to and look at this. We got Matt is in the fucking house.
What's happening?
What's up? You don't even have a fucking avatar or nothing. You're like a fucking vampire.
Bro, I saw that you had your camera on. I didn't want you to be alone. I'm not going to move everything over to be in front of it.
I just watched Nosferatu, so I'm just going to assume you're Nosferatu right now.
Forget it. There. I was trying to help you out.
By the way, fucked up ass ending. If anybody's ever watched that movie, you might have to watch a fucking ending of Nosferatu explained fucking video afterwards.
I'm a huge Robert Egger fan. I loved Lighthouse. I loved The Witch. I think he's knocked it out of the park with every movie. But I enjoyed Nosferatu, but it just didn't. It felt like something was missing. I think it had a lot to do with the actors. I don't think she pulled it off as well as what it needed for her to be.
It was the style, dude. It was the artistic style. They were going for something very fucking artistic. I watched a Screen something. I can't remember what the fuck the channel is. It's a good one though. He does a good breakdown. Screen Rant, I think. Yeah, it's made to be very artistic. There's a lot of symbolism in there and everything. So a lot of it went over, us fucking stupid, us ass heads who were just like, seeing shit blow up and seeing people die in blood and shit.
Right.
So there's a lot of symbolism that we missed.
No, I didn't miss it. I'm a big fan of Robert Egger. I know his type of film and what's his choices in the
Also,
cinematography,
are you
right?
saying you
But
actually know why she fucked him in the end?
well, yeah. So obviously, she was overwhelmed by horniness, and even though this was some type of demon, women be women.
Okay. I'm hoping that people are gonna rewatch this and actually want to get the evidence. So we'll talk about this on the Skinemax Saturday. How about
Okay,
that?
all right, gotcha.
That's my hopes. I want to actually try to get through this stuff and see if because yeah. So let's read this stuff again. This is a document from subject 1963 to 64 Miami Station action to aid USG investigation to the murder of John F. Kennedy. But this is dated 1977. So one of the things that we know is a lot of the documents that have been coming out are not the original documents, but they're like either talk about the old documents or recreation of old documents. So,
by the way,
yeah,
this is a great example of my love for you. I have been avoiding this whole JFK, doc release the whole week. I haven't gone in any. I'm like, I'm not going to talk about this shit, but I'm here with you talking about.
I love you, dude.
About it. I appreciate everyone's passion for finding the truth and all that stuff. But
I'm just
guys.
Yeah, trust me.
Here.
My mindset is I'm extremely skeptical. My belief is that there probably was smoking gun type shit out there, and I mean, so much of it's gone right now. But if Anna ain't bullshitting in her tweet here, her her post, it says that this proves that the CIA knew that it was not just one lone gunman. I mean, that right there destroys the narrative.
Except though, that's a very
don't you say common. Don't.
No, what I'm trying to say is that I'm going to need more than that to dismiss the lone gun theory, because you're not proving that at best
you haven't even seen the evidence though.
I need to see the evidence that there was a second
read it, motherfucker. Let's fucking read it.
Okay,
all right.
Let's
read me the evidence. Read and see what it says. Love you, buddy.
Of course.
See, basis for my knowledge on this topic. Who is this from? See, release under the President John F. Kennedy assassination records. I want to make sure that I know who we're talking about, because it says fuck off. It says I served under wait a minute. You murder John F. Kennedy. Let's get to the other file real quick, because I want to make sure I know who we're talking about here before we read this.
By the way, this is the first chink in the armor of this idea of boom, here it is, the smoking gun we've been looking for, when we have no idea who even wrote this.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I want to make sure I'm not going to fucking bullshit anybody, and I want to show who the fuck we're talking about here.
It's especially important when it's written in the first person, and for us not to know who this person is.
It's called the Donald Heath memo, so I'm guessing this is by somebody called Donald Heath.
Yeah, who's that?
Yeah. Well, okay. Well, it does start off right away by saying I did this, and this. So this is somebody named Donald Heath. So I'm going to assume that he is saying this is somebody he's talking. Okay, so this is somebody he's going to explain who he is what I'm going to assume. All right. I'm going to do my best to keep this entertaining, guys. I hope you all understand and appreciate this. Who else we got in here right now? We still got Chai over here. We got B. Okay, I just want to make sure that it wasn't anybody else popping in. All right. I served from 29 March 1962 to 20 August 66 in Foreign Intelligence Branch of the Miami Station. Duties including, I'm assuming CIA, because they did say this is a CIA thing. Handling a certain number of Cuban exiles residents in Miami, used to support the FBI or FI operations into Cuba. Cuba's been a lot of speculation into all of this. I also kept loose contact with other Cuban exiles who were considered informants on specialized aspects of Cuban affairs on Cuban exile affairs. My duties also included working very closely. Okay, blah, blah, blah. I assume this, he's talking a lot. Covert action branch, including with counterintelligence and paramilitary branches. had irregular contact with station security office. So this is a high level dude inside the
Right.
CIA. This is a
Who
big
has
time secret
nothing to
program.
do with anything involving the actual assassination.
Well, so far, but so far, no. But however, there is speculation that Cuba has a lot of involvement in this.
Mm-hmm.
Locate agency records of Miami station action to help investigate John F. Kennedy murder. Okay, number 2, during March 62 to mid 64, communication security between HQ's headquarters and the Miami stations was not always good. Headquarters, Cuban task force, senior and middle grade officers often use telephone communications. Miami station, this is looking kind of dry right now.
Mm-hmm.
We're fairly blah, blah, blah. Minute comments. 64 was a crackdown.
Right. They're like, stop. It's like in The Wire. They're like, yo, we don't speak in the car. We don't talk on the phone.
Yeah. Well,
Just
so
like
in
The
other words,
Wire.
yeah, we're very, very careful about what we're fucking saying. I describe this communication situation because it is quite possible that immediately following the Kennedy murder, I'm going to put my cursor over here so you know where I'm at.
Yeah.
If following the Kennedy murder, headquarters may have phoned requirements to COS. I don't know what that means. Miami and Miami Station's Office of Security to conduct investigations and then failed to follow up with cables for the record. All right, so immediately it's already pointed out that there could potentially have been some shady shit happening after the murder of JFK.
Is that what it says? It sounds more like they were already not supposed to be using the telephones or whatever to communicate, and the middle management were not, irresponsible with how they do things or whatever. And so I guess they're like, somebody is calling them to be like, hey, we need to help with this investigation, and they're like, yeah, we don't need to write that down.
Yeah, could be. Yeah. Yeah, that needs some analysis right there. I'm sure that's not the smoking gun that Anna was talking about, though. All right, number 3, from mid-April 62 until shortly after Mr. Shackley's departure, PCS, that's permanent change of station. I know that one. In the spring of 65, the Miami station sent headquarters a situation report by cable at the end of each workday. Each operating and administrative component of the station contributed to this situation report, which was produced with specific topical sections about developments at the situation at the station in Cuba. In intelligence reporting and in operations underway. Occasionally, the situation report would report results of investigations conducted by the station. It is interesting that we're talking about JFK, but at the same time, so much about Cuba. Operations officers through contacts in the Cuba community in Florida. These investigations are discussed below. The situation reports at headquarters file category classifications on them. Let's see, 73 offices of McLean. I believe the situation report can be retrieved. Blah blah blah. S2 is an intelligence section there. A lot of stuff that's just more details that obviously just fills in for factual information on the document.
Before you move on to number 4, I was responding to a text, and honestly, this guy, it's so militarily written to where it's kind of, I kind of lost the thread. What was number 3 about? What was? Can you sum up the third number 3 for me?
A lot of just talking about information that's going on with Cuba and situations report. It has S2, something that's intelligence.
Okay, so it's just going through like the way that things are supposed to be reported.
It's a lot of fill. Yeah, as far as like a report goes, it's a lot of fill to make sure you got all the information factually accurate in a report. I mean, unfortunately, like I did security, I didn't do it for very long, but just like a police report, I think you got to put a lot of bullshit information that's basically filled just to make sure you got all of your, I's dotted and T's crossed and all that. So
that's why you got to have a good template. So it cuts down on a lot of that,
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Number four. Obviously, the Miami Station situation report would have been made only cursory mention of station efforts to investigate a Cuban role in the Kennedy affair. Okay, so now we're getting into talking about the potential
What
involvement of Cuba in his assassination.
this fucking guy, he went into all that fucking detail, but then he's like, I'm gonna keep it vague with the Kennedy affair because who knows what that is actually referring to. You know what I mean?
Well, it's
It
at the head. It's a headline, a fucking memo, dude. It says
right,
about the
but
assassination of John Kennedy. So I think it's pretty obvious.
but
I don't
they have already been involved with all these Cuba
know.
exiles and shit like that. So to say that they were kind of having, an investigation, a cursory mention of the Kennedy affair,
The
what does
Kennedy
that
affair,
mean?
which actually the Kennedy affair could have meant many of the
Exactly.
100 fucking chicks he was screwing on the
Yes.
side.
One of the big
Which
reasons
one? You mean the
he's one of the
Marilyn
best.
Monroe? Sensitive and detailed reports by the station concerning the investigation may have gone to headquarters via of investigation were sent by routine cable and dispatch. I would suggest to check with chief information management. So you can definitely tell this is an original document then.
Yeah, it sounds like a internal memo that he's kind of sending out too, because he's
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
how
This is
to
yeah.
correct your
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah, so this is something he like. This is his official report, like
Hmm.
immediately after the assassination happened. Again, a lot of filler, textual keywords, and there's codes involved, other factors to locate documents containing complex types of information. All right, number five. I suggest IP/CFS, don't know what that means, may be able to help locate the archival copies of Miami station memoranda to the Miami field agencies of the FBI and Secret Service for period commencing with the president's assassination. And he could be indicating right there that there's shit that's missing and you need to hit
Uh,
these people up to find it.
I don't know if he's saying like, yo, this shit's missing, but he's like, hey, they've been fucking up communication between these two entities for so long. You need to check with this guy to get the to find the copies of all the memoranda because they've been losing shit. They don't, all the sticky notes. Some of them fell behind the desk.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, yeah, that was definitely a day that we weren't
I,
archiving everything into a file on our computer.
Yeah. Thus far, it
Um,
sounds like his focus isn't on anything to do with Cuba or JFK, but it's about the lack of accountability with the reporting and the communications. Kind of like what we saw after 9/11, right? Nobody was
oh yeah,
all the agencies weren't communicating with each other. So it seems like that's so far that's his focus is trying to guys, we got to do better with
yeah,
how we keep track.
yeah. You listen to any of these JFK historians, and I mean, people who actually, I'm not talking about just some theorists or anything. People put the actual facts out. This is actually what happened, and you can build your own conclusion based upon that. It was either as a massive failure or it was done on fucking purpose. And again, you come to your own fucking conclusion. But this is again at least some more corroboration into there very well could have been some shady shit going on.
I
At the
think
very least, they're hiding something.
I
What?
think through the media and cinema, we have overly we give these guys too much credit for them to be we we think of them as being too efficient, too smart when they're still government employees. They're still humans. They're dum dums.
No,
So a
no.
lot of this is just because you got dum dums that are
I
handling some of
think
this shit.
I think you're absolutely right, but I think the fact of the matter is of why that we have so much evidence that there's some shady shit
Right.
going on
You're muted. You just
is
went muted.
because we're fucking dumb. Yeah, I literally just moved my fucking XLR for getting that. I
Oh
touched
yeah.
the top of it and it meets my fucking mic. No, I do. I think that again, you guys can build your own speculation. I'm not gonna tell you what to believe because I'm not that kind of guy. But I'm gonna keep on talking. You guys build your own fucking conclusion. But I think that you're right that these were fucking dum dums, and that's a reason why there's so much evidence that they fucking did it. That there's that at the very least, the fucking official story's dumb. It doesn't make any fucking sense. All right. So,
Well, I mean,
anyways,
only if you know about, how velocity affects rounds and things like physics.
oh come
Like,
on,
yeah,
yeah,
if you know
wait.
those things, then it doesn't make sense. But
Oh, okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah. I see what you're saying. Yeah, the fact that yeah, how about a bullet that goes through a skull and then through multiple bones after that, and then fucking lodges into a fucking plating of a car and then comes out fucking perfectly pristine. How about that?
It kind of reminds me. Have you ever seen that stupid picture? It's like this 50 cal round is in a crib. Like this was fired from an Israeli sniper at a baby or whatever.
Oh,
And it has the casing and everything. It
yeah,
kind of feels like this, guys. We found the bullet. Like that's not how it should look
yeah,
after being fired.
exactly, exactly. Fucking Brandon Herrera. I don't know if you ever saw Brandon Herrera did a the magic bullet theory testing,
Mhm.
and as his what's it called? You always have that the one that's the pristine example versus the actual example. You compare the two.
Right.
I can't remember what it's called. You know, afterwards he shot through a fucking simulated skull. You know, actually has the you know the fucking
The gel.
yeah, the gel, and it has like bone structure to it and
Right.
everything. And even then, he could not simulate it going through the governor, going through like it went through multiple fucking bones and lodged into and lodged into the car. All right, that is an impossible. So what he did is he simulated by shooting through this fake skull and into a row of water jugs. I mean, like, you know, 6 water jugs. And that one alone came out obviously slightly disformed, as a bullet should. The first one, which again, I can't remember in testing what's called, but he simply shot into the water. The one that shot into the water jugs by itself came out more deformed than the one that went through the fucking skull.
Yeah. That's
In other
interesting.
words, if anyone out there has not known what the fucking magic bullet for JFK is, one of the bullets they found that was supposedly the kill shot is pristine. Like, he doesn't even look like it was shot out of a gun, let alone went through somebody's skull, the governor's leg, and lodged into the fucking panel of the car.
So, by the way, that is the best evidence I've heard on discounting, like dismissing this whole the magic bullet theory. Like I haven't heard that before about the bullet that they found was pristine or whatever. Because
Oh yeah,
I believe that they actually made miscalculations talking about the trajectory of the bullet that later on they have tried to correct.
no, that is something else. There's like, you know, there's the whole up and to the left thing from the JFK
Yeah.
movie, from the Zapruder film. The up and to the left is indicating the way that JFK's head, when the kill shot comes in, his head goes up and to the left, when really the Oswald shot would have been coming from his right and down to his left, which would have made his head go forward. The up and to the left would have indicated from JFK's forward right side, which is where the grassy knoll was. That's the theory, that's where the shot came from, and that's why his head went up and to the left. So the belief is, I do believe, is the reason that they're saying that kill shot, the reason for the magic bullet that had no fucking damage to it, was because they had to put evidence in there that said this is the kill shot, even the kill shot would have actually gone through the sky to JFK's left, and they never would have fucking found it. So they had to pull something from the car, and they just pulled a fucking random bullet that they pulled out of the fucking drawer and said, this is the bullet that killed JFK, and there was no damage to it whatsoever.
And I get that. As a former police officer, I get it. Sometimes you have to plant the evidence to give time before you find the evidence. You know what I mean?
Thank you for that. A little insight into the world of our modern police agencies. Here we go.
Well, it worked better before body cameras. Those kind of took the fun out of policing. I'm going to be honest with you.
I'm going to keep on reading this, but for anyone who hasn't seen it, I'm going to show you. This is the bullet right here in question. They were talking about. This is supposedly the bullet that went through JFK's skull, through the governor's leg. I believe it was supposedly ricocheted and injured and hit somebody else, and then lodged into the bottom of the car. Like, you can see
are you fucking with me?
Indentation over here on the front, and that's about it.
Are you fucking with me, dude? This is the first I've ever seen this. This is so absurd.
This is supposedly the kill shot bullet for JFK. Yeah.
they would have been better off sprinkling crack on JFK and be like, hey, maybe he did it himself. You see the crack?
Do you see now why the JFK conspiracy theory, quote unquote, has been so crazy since 1967, whatever the fuck?
I mean, you're close to making me a believer.
Right?
Not a believer, but a non-believer, whatever it would be in this case. Like, man,
I really thought, for the longest time too, because the information hasn't been out there. You know why? Because people are afraid to talk about it. You say, oh, look, there was a pristine bullet that never hit a fucking person, which I think is almost an exact quote by Joe Rogan. That bullet didn't hit a fucking thing. But you say that and you get labeled conspiracy theorists. You have to shut the fuck up because you're too fucking crazy. That's what's been happening for decades, man.
Also,
now
what caliber is this?
Talk about it.
I've never seen a bullet that even looks like this. Maybe it's because I'm not familiar with 60s era bullets.
Hey, you want to know why? It's because the fucking rifle that Oswald supposedly killed JFK with was one of the worst rifles ever fucking made. And yet he pulled off 3 perfect shots within seconds of each other to kill this man while he was moving. I can't remember the name of the fucking rifle, but it is hot fucking garbage. Anyone who knows rifles, I'm not a rifle expert, but I've heard plenty of people who talk about it. Look into it. That rifle is shit.
I heard he no-scoped him. I heard he also no-scoped him too, this fucking guy.
No scope. Yeah, I do believe that's
no. No scope is a gaming term so people will run around with the sniper rifle and just, it was a joke. But
I thought for a second, like I was going my Rolodex with the pictures, like, wait, was there a scope on there? I thought that it might have actually been iron sights.
Yeah, I heard he jumped up, did a 360 and then no scoped him. I think he lag switch. He had a lag switch. This is all
okay. I looked it up. It's a 6.5. It's a 6.5 by 52 millimeter Carcano Model 38 rifle. It does have a scope on it.
I know the Carcano. That's in Red Dead Redemption 2. Like, for real.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I never used it. I thought it was a shit gun in the game.
Even in the game, you think, you're gonna pull off 3 fucking perfect shots to kill Kenedy while he's on the move.
Just give me a sharps, like a Quigley Down Under sharps, like the 1874. Oh, I love that. I think it's 1874. You know the rifle I'm talking about?
I have no fucking clue.
You ever see Quigley Down Under with Tom Selleck?
Oh God, that's a long time ago.
Yeah,
I know that movie.
Yeah, the 1874 Sharp. Wait, am I wrong? Yeah. Sorry, 1874 Sharps rifle. It's the only rifle that I really want, but it's expensive as shit. They don't make it anymore, but there are companies that can do a replicant, kind of like a working replica. Is like legit.
Oh, well, Clinton very enthusiastically says, Adam, Quigley Down Under is a great movie worth watching. I'm sure I've seen it. God, I know I've seen it. I just can't recall right now off the top of my head. All right, let's. I want to get through this. I know this is dry, guys, but I really want to get to. Really want to figure out where exactly it is that Anna's saying is the big possible smoking gun that says the CIA knew all along that there was not more than one. There was more than one shooter. We were at 5. Finally, I suggest that IP/CFS may be able to help locate the archival copies of Miami Station memoranda. I think I already read that one.
Yeah.
Miami Station operation procedures for crash investigations. All right, I'll skim through this because I don't think this is really what we want to see. After Steve Shagley organized several reactions procedures. Speedy augmenting, blah, 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 blah. I'm guessing that what they're trying to say here is explaining what happened as far as communications. Queer residents, and query, it's so queer. Residents, agents in Cuba who had WT, commo. I don't know what that means.
So I think he's talking about this new station fast reaction investigative system that he said that if you look at 7, it was first employed in 62.
I believe the first time I recall seeing the station fast reaction investigation systems employed was in late 62. Then word received from another agency that Cuban exile paramilitary activists. So again, okay, so they're trying to get some more information background into obviously what they're leading to. That's obviously what's fucking going on here.
Came in.
Yeah, I saw that. I've got two screens here, always to make sure I can see over here on the other side. Because Blue Core fucking devil wants to get me drunk while I'm trying to find out who killed JFK.
I mean,
serious shit here, man. We're gonna get to the bottom of this. We're gonna make history tonight. All right.
I may be the first person to theorize this, but given my knowledge of women, I don't know why we've never investigated one of his lovers. I mean, Courtney Love did it. Why? Who's to say that the second shooter wasn't some hussy? You know what I mean? That got thrown to the side or whatever.
Maybe I can't remember her name. Maybe it was the wife. That's I don't know. Could have been.
I did hear something. I never looked into it because I'm just I read the headline and make up my own shit from there. But I did see something about one theory where the Secret Service agent or whatever, it was actually his gun that was the second shooter because like the car jerked or hit something. Something happened that like when the impact happened, he had an accidental discharge or negligent discharge. Yeah, and they're like, "Oh, we got to cover that shit up." Which I'm not drunk.
You're drunk. Negligible. Yeah. No, dude. There's so Roger Stone. I think Roger Stone is like, from what I've seen, anybody who I've heard talk about this is the most fact-based. Like he has more knowledge about the entire thing than anyone else, in my opinion, when I've seen him describing what happens. It was if anything, it was a concerted effort within multiple disgruntled individuals within multiple agencies. So it wasn't everybody. Obviously, it was not all of the fucking Secret Service was in on it. It was not everybody in the FBI, not everybody in the CIA. It was only a select few. It's the same thing like people want to say, oh, you think that the NFL is rigged? How the hell do they get all the fucking refs on board? You don't have to have all the refs on board. You just have to have one or maybe two on a fucking game who can make just a couple of calls that can rig the fucking game. I'm not saying that's what happened, but I'm saying it could happen, okay?
Good, because that's one of my triggers. I hate, oh man, I when somebody says, oh, it's all rigged anyways. What the fuck are you even talking about?
You're telling me all rigged. Yeah, the fucking the crew is not sitting there, okay, here's how we're gonna rig the game. It only takes one or two guys to fucking to make the game fucking change. You just have to have a couple of big fucking calls. But again, I'm not saying that's for sure what happens, but I'm saying it could happen.
If it did,
I could go the whole thing with the rigged election as well.
This is the only thing I'm going to. This is the only thing I'm going to say on the NFL thing. If they were rigging it to try to have an outcome that they preferred, why the fuck would they have the most profitable, the most known brand, the Dallas Cowboys, be out of the Super Bowl for the past 30 years? Dez Bryant caught that ball. I don't give a fuck about you and your Packers and your fucking cheeseheads. If the NFL was rigged, that would have been a fucking catch. We would have won. We would have got our Super Bowl. But no. So for some reason, the most popular franchise in all of sports, they're like, you know what? They're good. No. We don't need them for the ratings in the Super Bowl. Let's get fucking Taylor Swift.
No, because Packers are America's team now, so you can go fuck it. I gotta go here for a super chat. Well, I'll tell you what, we got to get in that conversation sometime.
Yeah,
I'll tell you,
for sure.
We'll talk about. I didn't know you're a Cowboys fan. We'll talk about that.
Yeah. Des Bryant caught that.
Blue Cordell for 20 while I'm trying to stay good and read through the shit and solve the mystery of this all these fucking decades. Says the rifle he had was the worst. And the SK worse than the SKS through a fence a few months ago. Oh shit, I don't know what the fuck you just said there.
And the SKS, that's a gun. I know that.
Was worse than an SKS through a fence. I'm trying to analyze that. I don't fucking know exactly. I will say that an SKS is absolute hot garbage too, and could be even fucking worse. I think he's saying that worse than SKS. As far as accuracy and everything, yeah, I mean SKS and all the fucking AKs, yeah, that's all spray and pray bullshit. That's not made to fucking have any kind of real accuracy. So I think that's what he's saying.
Even the name Kakano or whatever makes it like, that sounds foreign. I don't know about this. You know what I mean?
That sounds like the wrong kind of foreign, like somebody who was drunk when they built the rifle.
Yeah, like it's kind of a cool name, I guess. What does it mean in Spanish?
Oh, absolute hot garbage. Can't hit shit. Thanks.
It means mid.
It begun!
Thank you, Blue Cord. And yes, to answer your next question, I wasn't planning on going live, dude. I was thinking about texting you too to let you know. I'm like, no, I wasn't feeling. I've been sick as fuck, dude. Like 4 days ago, like I was sicker than I had been since I caught the OG fucking coof back in 2020. The first day it hit me. Everything after that I was fine, but the first day I got hit with the OG coof back in 2020, hit me like a fucking a semi truck. And this 4 days ago, that's what hit me with whatever I've got now,
bro. I don't know if the girlfriend and I we just never got it once, or it was so mild we had it, never even realized it, and moved on. Yeah. Because not once in all of it.
I had it for sure twice after, and both times it was just nothing but a cough.
Yeah.
I knew one time I got tested to be safe because I think I was going to get ready to go do something. I tested like, okay, yeah, I am fucking positive. And the other time I thought I might have it, so I stayed in. The fact that like every time I've had it, I have a cough for fucking like 5 months after. Mm-hmm. So if I have a cough and then it never goes away for like 5 months, I'm like, okay, that was COVID. That's what it does to me. What I have now isn't. I don't think it is, because it's like I've never been nauseous with COVID, and I fucking puked my brains out so bad. I was out on a first date, dude. I was out on a first date with a girl, and it hit me like we were at Hibachi, and it hit me right as the fucking food was being put on the plate. I all of a sudden started sweating. I'm like,
oh no,
yeah, like dude, like she even looked at me, and she's like, like, because you know, like Hibachi, they do like the fire thing and everything, and she's like, did the fire, like, are you okay? And like, I'm not feeling good. And
man, I've never had food poisoning before eating the food. That's insane.
It was the salad. That must have been it. I ate the salad. You know, that little pre thing in Hibachi. They gave me a salad. So don't eat the salad at that place, apparently. But yeah, today I was like, I wasn't feeling good, and I was definitely motivated to want to come on here and read this document, of which we've gone through 5 sections now. Hopefully we'll get to
by the way, you know what I want to see from you? I want you and Mike to do a stream where you just give out like recounting your visit to Florida and y'all hanging out, because there had to be some fun between while you're there. Like, I would love to see that, because I see it in my timeline here and there. I'm like, these two guys, because you two from the outside don't. And I love Mike. Mike's awesome. I think he's great. But
he's great.
If you're looking from the outside, right, and you don't know all the context of everything, you're like, these two are hanging out. Like, they don't seem like.
Yeah, dude. I mean, we were living in the same house for a month.
Yeah.
And it was just him, Greg, who's the house owner, along with his wife. I mean, we we were like family for a fucking month, man. Like, I left, and it's legit sad. I miss the fuck out of those guys. And
yeah, I like Mike a lot. But by the way, Blue Cord's yelling at you to check your phone.
Where's my phone? All right, hold on.
Do you want me to call it? No, I do that. I have to do that with my girlfriend. She's like, I can't find it.
Okay, so second shooter on. Okay, he's giving me information about the second shooter on Trump.
Oh, really? Wait, the one at the golf course?
We're going to stop you right there, because before you go and poke that bear, you have to ask yourself, would you really want Gen X to get involved? Because Gen X truly is the last
I've seen that video.
FAFO generation. And everybody's been effing and A-ing. It's that FO part that I worry about. This is the generation whose win-loss record actually meant something. Their trophies actually matter. So their involvement is going to be a hands-on activity.
Yeah, I've seen a similar thing.
Of once-in-a-lifetime catastrophic events. Well, they're like Haley's Comet. They've been around the block a couple of times. They are not the forgotten generation. They are the in case of emergencies break glass generation. They are the nuclear option to the nuclear option. Every couple of years, everybody's like, oh, we need to get Gen X involved. But somehow they always get talked off the ledge. Give it like Power Rangers with the Megazords. You don't pull Titanus out for no reason.
That's a good example. I was watching a show, and I'll pull that super chat up since obviously that's okay. Well, no, he was going through the follow ups, but here he came up with the $20 right here, saying thought you weren't going live tonight. I was watching a show. Rumble's got that whole live series now. I'm seriously considering, guys. I'm seriously considering doing my live shows exclusively on Rumble to all suit.
I mean, if that's great, if you're like, you know what, I want unreliable numbers when it comes to who's watching my stuff.
Actually,
I don't trust Rumble.
The combined numbers, whenever I do a show where we start off on Rumble and YouTube, and then I switch over halfway through to Rumble Live, it's really good numbers.
Yeah, of course.
So my thinking is, guys, I put out a poll. I don't trust the poll numbers because I had minimal amounts of likes and no comments, but like still I had a lot of fucking votes and it still went to like almost 60% stay on YouTube. I don't trust that poll. I think there's a lot of fucking bots out there.
I love that you're like, no, Rumble, they seem legit with all their numbers. Everything I'm seeing looks good. But this poll, fuck that. That's some shady shit. That's where I draw the line. Is that this fucking poll? Get the fuck out. Don't do it, bro.
I'm not going to get into it. I know what you mean. If you mean by the numbers for live views and all that, there's a whole discussion we can have because I know that I think it was an issue. Either they were being shady or it was a problem that I think they fixed. Because now you can go into your analytics and you can see all what was the actual natural, in other words, actual viewers versus like possible repeats and whatnot. So, but yeah. Trust me, I know if it shows like 400 viewers, the fact that you look at it and it's actually only like 100 people individually saw you. So they're being more apparent.
Just one piece of advice and we can be done with it. I would hold off on making it exclusive until you get more than 3 people commenting in your comments on Rumble, and it shows 200 people watching. You know what I mean? Let's see some.
Again, trust me, I know. Trust me, these are all questions that I ask myself because, I don't have the reach that Dan Bongino, Steven Crowder, any of these guys do. Temple, who they can have millions of people who will automatically follow them over. But
they're the ones benefiting from this.
Yeah, at the same time, though, I mean, I have coming up on 15,100. We're very close to 15,100 subscribers over here. But at any point in time, I mean, concurrent viewership is not that high for the live streams. I just don't have that many people watching the live. So I could just do it over on Rumble instead.
Sorry, it just hit me out of nowhere with no help from anybody. But remember Blue Cord's original 20 about the it's worse than when SKS threw a fence? That was actually in reference to the second shooter at the golf course because he shot through the fence.
Oh,
figured that out on my own.
Or at least he tried to shoot the fence. Yeah, he was going to until the Secret Service actually did the job right and caught him. Good call. Good catch.
Good call. Oh, great. Now Blue Cord's coming in trying to take credit for it.
Yeah. You only just caught it. He actually said it. And just for that, this is you right now, Mad. Fuck you, Mad.
I'm okay with that. Out of all the things that can go wrong with your equipment, that was not so bad.
Well, overall, I mean, you're gonna get your fucking ass smoked for not fucking putting that barrel on, right?
What? No, it wasn't me. It was the armorer. It was a manufacturing malfunction.
You didn't check your equipment right. I don't know. I it doesn't matter. If you're a fucking private, it's your fault. You know that.
Of course. Yeah.
Yep. All right, let's try to let's get through this and see if we can't find some nice nuggets of information in here. All right, so this is the brand new page. Let's see. I know this is all kind of filler here. Left New Jersey, was believed to be headed to Florida. Band of men. Recall a number of officers in our Florida branch, paramilitary branch, and the C8 Civil Affairs branch. No way that means Civil Affairs. Were asked to, quote, hit the streets of Miami to query, I think, Cuban exile contacts about possible location, plans, and arraignments of arraignments armaments of Masferer. The AMOT service was, of course, the principal mechanic for checking on Cuban exile actions in violation of the Neutrality Act. There's heavy on the Cuban thing here. So, I mean, there's got to be a tie-in that we're going to get to here at some point. The late spring and early summer. But remember, you saw it here first, everybody. If we find something good, you tell everybody. Came out, Bet's talking first. I broke this fucking news. Number 8, the late spring and early summer of 62 saw extensive use of stations, fast investigation capability, refugees arriving on Opalox Air Base. Refugee Processing Center began in late May. Let's see if I can get through some of this. Counter-revolutionary. I was in the Bay of Pigs. The Bay of Pigs was a false flag invasion of Cuba, right?
Right. Yeah, Cuba. Yeah.
That's okay. So that's definitely the tie-in here, and I've got to do more research on that. I know that the Bay of Pigs was considered to be a failure as an operation that's supposed to happen, and all the intelligence agencies accused Kenedy, JFK, of either failing on it or just completely sabotaging it. And there is a big belief there. That's one of the reasons that they want to take him out was the failure of the Bay of Pigs. Because they wanted to invade, they want an excuse to invade Cuba. And that's definitely where all this is tying in. I'm just now catching on that. Were you going to say something?
No, I'm just retweeting this stream out.
Okay.
Let's see. Know more people.
The major counter-revolutionary action was afoot in Cuba. That an invasion of Cuba was anticipated by Castro, and that there was unusual military movement inside Cuba. So right now he's talking about the Bay of Pigs. I believe. I recall being one of the many case officers directed by Mr. Shackley through my branch chief to alert my particular string of Cuban exile informants to phone relatives inside Cuba and try to get supportive information through double talk. One thing's for sure is they didn't have spell check. A lot of this.
Yeah, this is all on a typewriter. I have a lot of forgiveness on this. Like, I noticed some punctuation things earlier on. I'm like, I'm not even going to, you know what I mean? Fuck that. Because I know if you took spell check from me, autocorrect from me, people were like, oh, this is a legit frittata.
He's like,
who gave this retard a phone? You know? It's mostly because of the East Texas accent. Like, in my head, it doesn't sound anything close to what it's supposed to sound like when I'm trying to sound out words.
Yeah.
Autocorrect or spell check will even tell me, why don't we try another word? They just give up on me at some points.
But yeah, with the typewriter, there it doesn't fucking matter. You just fuck something up, you fucked it up, and there you don't have the what. You know, I remember back in the day, we had to do whiteout. I think it's like if you were writing with pen or something, you'd use the old whiteout. Which I know people were sniffing, getting high on. Want to get high? Number 9.
You want to see my pecker? Have you ever seen that?
Oh, God, what was that from?
It's some cartoon I saw. It was like, want to see my pecker?
I know. I was thinking Family Guy.
I'll put it in the chat. Yeah, it sounds kind of like the old man.
It wasn't that though. He was creepy, but he wasn't straight up creepy like that. Why don't you reach in there and get a popsicle out of my pocket?
I got a tip for you in my pocket. Why don't you come fish it out?
All right, number 9. During the period, who would have guessed we're trying to figure out who killed JFK? We're talking about
it tracks.
It totally tracks. Number 9. During the period following the Cuban Missile Crisis, fell in 62. To the time of Kenedy's murder, okay. So now getting to meat and potatoes here. To the time of Kenedy's murder, I believe I recall perhaps 5 major incidents where Mr. Shackley called on officers throughout the large stations to set in motion the procedures for checking through Cuban agents and informants on. There's a typo. It's 2 ons on 2 occasions. In late 62 and early 63. What year was Kennedy killed? Was it 66?
this whole time I'm like, oh God, I hope he doesn't ask me anything about the assassination, like the date. I have no clue.
So okay, somebody I know there's always somebody in the chat who fucking knows this shit. Somebody in chat, tell us what year Kennedy was killed. I want to say it might have actually been 65. So we're talking about at least a couple of years before the assassination. To early 63, I believe we scrambled to activate our sources because President Kennedy was traveling about in the USA. Oh, look, there's a whiteout spot right there. And throughout the USA, headquarters and internal USG security agencies wanted to be alerted to the presence of known dangerous Cuban exile activities in the area the president was to visit, and wished to learn of any conspiracies being hatched in the Cuban exile community or in Cuba to exploit or interfere with the president's movements.
By the way, it was November 22nd.
Oh, he was killed on November 22nd, 63.
Yeah.
So he's talking about right in that time period. He was saying on 2 occasions in late 62 and early 63, the stuff started to happen.
I believe we scrambled to activate our sources because President Kennedy was traveling about. What does that? Wait, what does that mean though? Why did they scramble to activate their sources? Also, I don't care for the "I believe." It shouldn't.
But again, we skipped through all stuff. That's the reason why there's all the fucking stuff before this.
Oh, right, because he doesn't have the records.
He's given all of his reasons for why he believes this. And this is how investigations happen. I mean, you can't say this is a fact. You're saying I believe this because of this. So we went through all these paragraphs that I kind of skipped through because it's boring as fuck. I didn't want everyone to fall asleep.
Yeah, justifiable.
He's given all the reasons why he believes this. There's all this Cuban activity. All right.
Right.
So we are getting to the meat and potatoes here, all right? I know we skipped past a lot of it, so you're going to have to go back and watch Alex Jones tomorrow to watch him give all the reasons for all this. Right now, we're just trying to get to, basically the what happened at the end. I'm already skeptical, though, because it sounds like they're trying to blame it purely on the Cubans, and this is one of the things that with all this stuff, and this is one of the things that Roger Stone says. Again, I'm not saying that I know one way or another what really happened.
Right.
I personally do. This is my belief. Y'all can argue with me or not. I do believe that it was largely personnel within our government. I believe that as Lyndon B. Johnson working along with people in the CIA, along with a few rogue agents in the FBI and Secret Service who actually made this happen, and then they blamed it on other people. Now, what we're going to go into here, I don't know. This could be a distraction, is what I'm saying.
Oh yeah, dude. Because you gotta. Yeah, I hope people don't get caught up in the misinformation, and I don't mean that in the modern day, like the true misinformation. Because the WikiLeaks, I was going through that one time looking for alien shit because that's my bag as far as like conspiracy theories and shit. And I remember reading this stuff about all the navies of the countries in the world are like on guard because there's something in the ocean that's growing and they don't know what to do, and they're all there like fighting or trying. I'm like, this is some banana shit. This is, you know what I mean? Like Paul W.S. Anderson level of nonsense, but it's in there because they're just flooding it with as much dumb shit along with this may be true. So you don't know is that you can discount everything because you can't trust most of it or even a majority of it.
And basically, and the idea is, I mean, that's where, I mean, with the JFK thing is where this kind of started. The term conspiracy theory actually started with JFK. Because because there were so many people who were finding the inconsistencies with the official story that they started putting out the term conspiracy theory just to make people afraid of even questioning the official story. Right. So yeah, I mean, it's not just a belief. There is, I mean, because there's either it was a Cuban hit squad, it was a mafia hit squad, it was these people. There are so many fucking different theories out there, and it was so much because it's been fed into the zeitgeist of people. One group will believe this, one group will believe that, and then everyone's fighting with each other, and the FBI send back and saying we did our jobs right. They don't know shit.
Mm-hmm. God, dude, could you imagine if they had TikTok and fucking Twitter at that time?
Christ.
You wouldn't know what actually happened.
I've said it so many times. I wish to God I was in PSYOP during the day of Facebook. Our job would have been so fucking easy because I know motherfuckers in Iraq are using Facebook right now. I guarantee my fucking SOP units out there are using Facebook accounts while we were still making fucking flyers and leaflets, for God's sakes. All they gotta do is just go on fucking Facebook and Twitter now, and they can fuck with people's minds in fucking Iraq. And not even have to be there. I guarantee they're doing stateside. They don't even have to go to Iraq to do that.
The only like flyers you have to drop are follow me at. Did I have your handle for more updates?
Have a fucking what's
a QR code? Have a QR code. Yeah,
QR code.
That's all you got to drop now. Again, but it's a more green way of doing psyop though, so that should please the environmentalists.
We're saving trees. Look at that.
Also, by the way, I was thinking about this a couple of days ago. What the fuck is happening with Iraq? It felt like it was a really big deal there for a while. I know it was when I was there. And now we never talk about Iraq. I never hear it come up in any context. I have no idea what's going on there. They good?
I know this much. I looked at the little fucking you could barely call it a town when I was there, called Divis, Northern Iraq. Like, it would take you like fucking 3 minutes to drive around the fucking town. It is a fucking full blown like giant city now. I mean, it is
really? So they're on the up.
I'm saying like 20 times. I'm not exaggerating, like 20 times bigger than what it was when we were there. I couldn't fucking believe when I saw that. So, I mean, at least that's the one location we were at. I know that even the drop zone that the one site they jumped into is nothing but a fucking airfield. And now there's a whole city around that. It looks like Iraq in general, at least where we were at, is on the up. I don't know about the rest of it.
I'm going to have to find some Iraqi influencers and they'll be like, hey, what's up, TikTok? I'm here in Baghdad, look at this. You know what I mean? Like to let us know what's up, man. What's happening in the good old. Because I was in Baghdad, I'm curious. I got
one of my buddies. We're talking about trying to get some of us guys from our detachment and go take a trip out there sometime.
Oh, that sounds so much fun. Be like, yo, this is where I got blown up on this very street.
Hey, so this is where I bought my rug. This is where we used to get fresh bread in the morning when we were on patrol. And this is where Mad got his face burned off.
Oh, this is the Mahala where what's his name got the food poisoning because he ate their food.
Oh, yeah, this is the place where I went, ate, and saw 500 million flies, and then no surprise, I was pissing out my ass for 2 weeks after. Oh, my God. Oh, so many stories. All right, let's see if we can get through this. We were down here on 9 during the time period following the Cuban Missile Crisis, Fall 62. We read through that. I believe scrambled sources talking about the Cubans, internal USG security agencies wanted to be alerted to the presence of known dangerous Cuban exile activists in the area. The president was to visit and wished to learn of any conspiracies being hatched in the Cuban exile community or in Cuba to exploit or interfere with the president's movements during 64 to 65. So this is after he was assassinated, right?
63. He got.
I recall being alerted by my station superior on a number of occasions to have sources collect fast information on such topics as A, Cuban exile or Castro-Cuban conspiratorial acts to exploit the visit of the Pope to New York. B, plans of Cuban exile groups to carry out attacks on infiltration. I think it's like a lot of suspicious activities by the Cubans, automatic weapons, explosives, secret assembled.
Basically, they asked him to hit up your people and see if they know anything about these concerns that we have. Not that they're happening, but like we're concerned that they will be doing this. Hit up your sources and see, like, you know what I mean? Put your ear to the street and see what they say.
Right.
Like if there's anything behind this.
And he's calling out and he's saying there's a lot of shit going on, basically involved with the Cuban government. And
I don't know. I think there's a lot of concern with the
dude. He even used the word conspiratorial.
Yes.
In other words, Cuban-based conspiracies.
It's under A at the bottom.
Yes,
Yeah, this is the things that they were
yeah.
asking him to collect information from his sources. So it's there's a difference here of him saying that
I
these
see.
are things happening.
To collect information, and he's not saying that he found it. He's saying
Right.
to collect.
That's what they asked him to do. Hit up your people, see if they know anything about these concerns that we have. One concern being A, then B, then C.
Okay, well, to be clear though, he's saying I recall being alerted by my superiors on a number of occasions to have sources collect fast information on these topics. In other words, these are things that happen.
Oh,
he's saying that these are things that happen. He's being asked to get information on them.
So FAST, these are things. Is an acronym. Didn't he use it earlier? The previous page. So because I'm pretty sure that's an acronym for their information thing. If you go back to the previous page. It should, at 7 at the bottom. Recall seeing the station's fast reaction investigative system. So earlier on that same page, I think he breaks down what fast is.
Well, in that case, yeah. So it's a fast reaction. So I mean, but he is saying he's being alerted to gather information on these A, B, and C. These are things that did happen, and he has to collect information to figure out why.
Well, so what we need to do, we need to go back to the last page because he's not saying information. He's saying fast information, referring to this thing that just started being used in 1962. And I know he talks about it in here somewhere. The fast reaction procedures.
This is something to note as to why this could be very important. Is he's saying these are all things after the assassination. So obviously he's providing this information to say that this is something I'm leading to as far as information on what I know about the assassination.
So here's my concern. As I'm reading this, a lot of his goal or what he's focused on is not what happened or what is happening, is the communication and how that communication is delivered in between agencies and different offices, right? So a lot of this has to do with him. He's talking about the apparatus, the information sharing apparatus, which is why he's bringing up this fast information, because what started in 1962 was the first time he thought he used it. So
let's keep the context here, though. Remember, the context.
That is the context.
Here's the context: is that Anna says this document confirms the CIA rejected the lone gun theory in the weeks after the JFK assassination. It's called the Donald Heath memo, and what that means that this is all leading to him indicating that there was a second shooter that the CIA never told us about.
Adam, that's meta. That's meta context, right? That is outside of the documents. That is us looking in.
But that's why we're reading it, to figure out what the fuck he's talking about, man.
I understand that, but I'm saying in the context of the documents being written by this guy, it is all about the information apparatus rather than what is happening.
Mad, we got to get through it to figure out what the fuck
sorry.
we're talking about.
You're right. Stop bringing up
Jim Combs.
NFL
welcome to the shit show here. Says, welcome, greetings from the people's repugnant of Illinois, Chancellor Fred Flintstone, Governor. If you mean, I do believe you mean Illinois. I'm right out here in Missouri, Lake of the Ozarks. Welcome. I don't think I've seen you in the chat before. Hello, Sherry's in the chat. What's up?
Hey,
I'm not new. Yeah, I know you're not new. Bravo's in the house. We got so many people popping in.
Yeah, because I tweeted it. Look at that. You got that. You got that mad bump.
You brought everybody to the house.
You got that mad bump. Yep.
I see. Yeah, you brought everybody to the house. Let's honor that here real quick at the shot. I always do this. I know I shouldn't be doing that for the stream, but I always do it. What am I gonna say? I always fucking do. Blue Cordell for another 20. Because we play our drink game rules. Says fuck that shit. Never want to return to any of my deployments. I really do. Having seen, like, if I looked at the GPS, I think I showed it on the live stream. The place, our fob out in Iraq, up in Bibis, Iraq, teeny tiny, almost a village, has exploded over 20 times bigger than what it was. I am fascinated to go see what that place is like now. Plus, it's in northern Iraq. It's not as bad, as the rest of the fucking shithole. My second tour, I was out in Fallujah and Ramadi on my second tour. Fuck that shit. Fuck that shit. I'm not going.
Shit, I'm out.
I don't give a flume. Fuck
Parrothead,
what happened over there.
You're one of the oldest people I've seen in chat since I've started YouTube, and you know I'm not a tinker. How dare you? Fucking tinker.
You're a fucking tanker. Thank you, Blue Cord.
By the way, real quick, I thought Blue Cord would have said something by now. Remember when I said I solved the whole SKS thing? I didn't. He put a message there explaining what it was, and I just took credit for it, thinking that somebody would have caught on to it. That I didn't figure it out on my own. I was like, I might as well come clean.
Matt doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about.
Fuck no.
All right, we got a whole new section here. See, procedures employed by Miami Station to aid investigation of the Kenedy murder. All right. So again, we're building on the main focus here. He's been talking about suspicious activity of what's happened before and after the Kenedy assassination. Matt can sit there and be all fucking disgruntled all he wants.
Look, to keep us moving, I'm not even going to say anything about the actual context. Is him talking about the information distribution apparatus that was being used at the time.
I just want to get through it, and we'll make an assessment after the fact. You can be as as skeptical as you want after we've read it. How about that?
Being skeptical, I'm just
you're a fucking skeptic. You just
I was until I saw that fucking bullet.
I don't care if a fucking UFO lands on the fucking White House lawn. I'm not gonna believe aliens are real.
Bullshit.
I know you. I know you would. All right, number 10. At the time of the Kenedy murder, again, I'm trying to fast track through this. So believe me, if it gets drawn, I'll get through it. For anybody who's popping in, at the time of the Kenedy murder, I was on suspension. Oh, he did bad things. From active duty. This dude was what was he, CIA or FBI? I can't remember now.
I don't know.
I think he was CIA. I think he was CIA. Especially because this is all talking about CIA, so I'm assuming that he was CIA. From active duty, because I had let my fiance fuck somebody. Let my fiance.
Oh, shit. I immediately was like, full screen. I'm like, what did he just say?
Accountings fall behind. Okay. Well, when you have I'm sure he probably had top secret clearance, something like that. Yeah. If you're doing bad financially, then you're not allowed on.
Yeah, I feel like that is a very just because of finance. I was keeping up with it. Like, bitch. Are you sure that there's not more to that story?
Yeah, there could be it could be bullshit, but at the same time, the secret stuff they do take that very fucking serious. So we'll take it a grain of salt. I was, however, present in the Florida branch at the Miami station where my chief, Mr. Warren Frank, issued orders to all case officers. There was about 12 of us at the branch at the time to contact our agents inside Cuba and our support agents in Miami for leads, possibly linking Castro, Cuba, or Cuban exile community to the murder.
You know what that sounds? It instantly reminds me of after 9/11, but there's no good bombing targets in Afghanistan. Let's take a look over at Iraq. Let's see if we can get a link between these two, crazy people. You know what I mean?
To be fair, I mean, that was years after. They didn't do it right away.
No. I'm sorry. You're right. It was almost 2 years before, but they were building the case those 2 years.
Yeah, I was making a joke because if anybody wasn't around, we invaded Afghanistan right away, and then Bush started making the case that Iraq was still a threat, and just he didn't say they were tied in, but basically all the fucking media apparatus that was supporting him made everyone believe we should invade Iraq because it was somehow tied to 9/11 when it wasn't at all.
By the way, I'm pretty sure in Richard Clarke's book about that, he quotes Donald Rumsfeld as saying
Rumsfeld,
saying that there was no good bombing targets in Afghanistan. Why don't we look at Iraq? And I think Richard Clarke was kind of laughed it off. But he was 100% dead serious.
Dude, Rumsfeld let so much shit slip. I guarantee you could really you have a fucking solid case with some fucked up ass conspiracy shit with that. He said for the Pennsylvania plane, the one that got shot down, for all of you remember, there was actually 4 planes that crashed on 9/11. One of them got shot down in a field in Pennsylvania, or one of them supposedly crashed because of
after they retook the plane.
They retook it, but Rumsfeld actually said, the one that got shot. I mean, he actually said the one that got shot down immediately corrected himself.
Right, which, okay, I can see it as just being a slip up. And then he's like, no, I need to correct this immediately. That is not what I meant.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But then again,
it's like,
he let it slip.
But dude, I mean, like, I wouldn't put it past our government at all if they shot down the plane. It's like, we can't let anybody know. Just
honestly, them saying let's roll before they retook the plane is the most like popcorn movie fucking line. You know what I mean? That is
exactly.
That is
I
Michael
never
Bay.
watched that. I never watched that movie because I believe from the fucking
much.
beginning it had to be fucking complete bullshit. But yeah, there's the movie out there about supposedly about how the fucking the passengers took over the fucking motherfuckers with what the fuck did they
box,
even have
box cutters? I think box
cutters. Yeah. Like
it's a lot like The Perfect Storm. Like y'all don't know any of this shit. They all died. There was no one left to tell the story about what was happening on the boat before they all died.
Yeah. It's dude.
Flight 93.
I mean, we could do a whole fucking show on 9/11 alone because there's there's so much inconsistencies. Thank you, Flight 93 says Blue Cord. Thank you. That's the name of the movie too.
In the flight.
Yeah, it's the name of the flight and the movie. Yeah. Thanks for pointing that out.
Because for everyone that may not know,
the
plane wasn't named after a movie.
All right. Let's see. I do recall Mr. Anthony, whatever the fuck, that's gonna be a typo. MOT case officers told me later that he had received specific instructions from Shackley about how the MOT, no clue what that means, service was to go about aiding the investigation. I also recall again he went back here talking about how Cuban exiles community were tied to the murder of JFK.
That's not what he said.
He did.
I can't let that go.
Up here. I'll read it again. Okay, I'll go back up here. Said our agents inside Cuba and our support agents in Miami for leads possibly linking Castro, Cuba, or Cuban exile community to the murder of JFK.
Here's the thing. You missed the important context. No, you missed the important context before you started reading. It's the orders were given out, right? What did this say? Yeah. So, Mr. Warren Frank issued orders to all caseworkers in Miami for leads to contact our agents inside Cuba for leads possibly linking. It's not saying they were linked. It's saying, hey, we want to know if the Cubans, because we have beef with them right now, are involved. Hit up your people and see if they're involved. That is different than saying they're involved.
Before I can actually finish the entire thing and see if there's any actual evidence, when he says, hey, I found the evidence that it actually happened, you still want to discount it before I even get to that point?
But no, I'm just correcting.
Great contribution, man. I really appreciate you.
I'm just correcting the context that is being read. You read it. You're saying that it's him saying they are connected. I'm saying they're asking them to get information.
Okay, fine.
There's a big difference.
Okay, he's looking into the possible connection. Okay, you're keeping me in check. That's fine. All right, I appreciate you. Love you, buddy.
I love you as well.
Yeah,
I'm gonna count that as a win.
Yeah. I just can't allow this. Okay, so they're looking to the possible connection. Of course, in my mind, I mean, based on the context of what we're getting at here, in my mind, I'm like, okay, this is definitely going to show us a connection. But you're right, we got to wait to get there. Thanks to Blue Cord Devil, I'm like definitely intoxicated at this point since I was already drinking before we even fucking started, and now it's getting just sloppy at this point. So the officer told me later that I'd received specific instructions. By the way, I think there's somebody staying down below me in the vacation condo, and I'm probably being very fucking loud right now. I gotta be careful. I heard the baby crying last night.
Oh, they're just like, this JFK fucking nutbag is up there screaming about the assassination. It was the Cubans. He's alone. There's no one there. He's alone up there screaming into the void about the Cubans and their connection to the JFK assassination. Honey, we have to get out of here. I do not.
Oh my God! Now he's just laughing at himself.
There's no one else there.
I can absolutely see them thinking
this. Fucking perfect.
Jim Cone says he was 10th Mountain Division back in the day. I am so sorry for you, buddy. My dumbass actually requested to go to Fort Drum because I used to live in Vermont. And I thought, I'll be close to home. Let's see. Where were we at? The
I think we're at 11.
MOT service was to go about siding in the investigation. I also recall quite clearly that there was communications from headquarters to our station from the need to query. It's definitely back in the day. We had a need to query our assets, and then there's a whiteout section. Somebody used this whiteout while they're sniffing it. There was also some communication from the FBI. Okay, so he's definitely CIA, not FBI, and other agencies to our station, asking for information about possible Cuban involvement in the Kennedy murder.
Right. Yeah. Everybody's asking if there was connections. Also, it's weird that that's the first time we've seen the whiteout used.
No, I pointed that out earlier.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I'd said it really quickly because I made a joke about it, and then I point out, there's a little white out there. That's a typo.
I must have missed it.
But okay, here's something that we need to make very clear too: is that suppose at this point, everyone believes it was Oswald. The official story going out is that Oswald was the murderer. There was no one else. It was just him. This is already pointing out they're doing investigations. We haven't got to any conclusions. I'm not saying that they've already said 100%
right. I'm
with
you.
But we're saying that both the CIA and the FBI and everyone else are already investigating after the murder. What are they investigating? If Oswald was absolutely the guy.
Well, you may already know this, but they had already been watching Oswald for a long time leading up to it, and he had a lot of connections to Cuba. He was even there.
Oh yeah, Cuba to Russia. Yeah.
Yes, if the shooter is someone that is known to you, and his connections to Cuba and to the Soviet Union are already known, and that's why you're watching him in the first place. If he kills the president, you'll be like, you know what? Let's see if Cuba had anything to do with it, because we know they have ties. So it makes perfect sense. Even if they're working under the theory that Oswald was a lone shooter, you would check out his connections, his known associates, because that's what we would do in any murder investigation.
Let's be more clear. He had like specifically his ties was to the Soviet Union.
Right.
Actually, like Cuba. I mean, we do know that Cuba and the Soviet Union were working together. However, ties to Cuba, I don't think. Somebody can correct me.
Fair point.
I don't believe that there's actually ties to Cuba. He had ties to the Soviet Union, not to Cuba. Now, obviously, there's still a connection there. But obviously, the point here is that let's see, Jim Combs was there for the pullout of January '94.
Gulf War, the first.
So, anyways, yeah, the point here is that the belief is that Oswald, which I'm not a historian with this like very well at all. I don't know very many of the key details, but he had ties to Russia. He came back here. You're right. He was on the watch list. Here's the other thing: is that just without even get away from the Cuba aspect. Dude, I didn't know this until all this stuff started coming out. He got a job at the book depository. He worked there.
Yeah.
He worked there. The Secret Service did not do a scan of the building. I looked into it. Their tactics back then were, not as great as they are now, but they still would have done a route, what we would call a route reconnaissance.
Yeah.
You would have done an advance. You would have cleared all the buildings, and you would have snipers in place.
Well, what was the angle of the slope of the roof, though?
You know what? He
sloped,
and that's how he got the shot off. If there was a slope on the roof, then he would have been fucked.
Right. Oh, but maybe that's why they didn't check it, because there was the building kind of sloped, the whole building. Like, well, we can't check that one. It would be dangerous.
That's how it worked with the Trump shooting. Yeah, there's too much of a slope, and therefore they couldn't go. So you're right. You know what? You're right. The book depository window had too much of a slope. So the Secret Service didn't go up there. You're right. You're right, Matt. That's how it would have been.
It would have been dangerous. Yep. Unions.
There's got to be memes. Somebody out there who can do memes. I don't know how you do that, but get a picture of a window and put a slope on it and say this is why the Secret Service wasn't able to get Lee Harvey Oswald.
Yeah. that's the way they were like, well, there's no way somebody's going to be able to shoot from that degree of an angle.
Slope. He couldn't pull off that shot.
It had to be a magic bullet. Did you see the slope of the window?
The slope made it happen. But no, I mean, dude, like if he was under investigation, they were already keeping an eye on him. You tell me he just got a job at the book depository. He had access to the building. They didn't clear the building. They put JFK in a fucking car without a roof, which is still, again, I even looked into that. That wasn't standard protocol. It wasn't like they're so lax. It's like, oh, it doesn't matter. No, they had their fucking presidents in fucking cars with goddamn fucking roofs, especially when you're going through a fucking high threat environment like that with high level fucking sniper positions all around you.
You know what? That's a fair point. That he didn't have a roof to the car, which seems as though that, you know what I mean?
The Secret Service intentionally made everything lax to make it happen, dude. I mean, I'm just hitting the tip of the iceberg. You look into all this shit, like all this stuff. Like I said, I only started learning about a lot of this only recently since all this JFK files started coming up. Look it up, man. It's mind blowing. The amount you can either call it incompetence, or it was intentional.
It also could be something that we are seeing current day, or at least when he was running. It's not that they were trying to set it up, but they didn't care enough to try to prevent it. It's more like if it happens, it happens, rather than we're going to set it up so that it does happen.
But that's exactly the theory. Again, we're talking theory about what happened to Trump at Butler, Pennsylvania. Is that the Secret Service, the people who want to have it happen, didn't make it happen. They just caused things to be so relaxed. They knew something was going to happen without knowing the specifics, and then just, oops, well, we fucked up. Oh no, only his ear got blown off. Oh shit, now we're fucked.
Look, yes, I turned off my body camera, but I didn't know my officer was going to shoot the blackmail.
Yeah. Anyways, all right, let's see if we can figure out anything else here. How far was I was in number 10, right?
No.
There's the whiteout spot. Let's see. Okay, we finished number 10. We're on number 11. Oh, how can I left my cursor right there. Maybe that's a key. I actually have that prepared. I recall making phone calls to agents of mine, against the CIA, in Miami, and I recall sending a WT message to my chief agent. Something in this is in quote. This is in parentheses.
Yeah,
maybe this is important. AMWEE-1.1.
No. So that's probably gonna, because I've done this before when doing corrections. You have to initial the correction.
Oh, okay. So
that's probably some indicator of who he is, either his initials or what have you. Saying that, so there's something about this that needed to be corrected somehow.
Gotcha.
I guess they were like, hey, can you add parentheses around this?
Tracking.
So he did.
All right. In Cuba with questions about possible cash. By the way, I'm sorry. I know we got chat over here. Matt, if you see any chats or anything that I should point out, please let me know. Possible Castro. Okay. In Cuba with questions about possible Castro-Cuban involvement in the murder of Kennedy. When I was released, again, we're talking about days after the murder happened, and everyone's saying this was Lee Harvey Oswald and no one else, and they're doing all this investigation into
any type of connections with the people they are actively in conflict with.
And specifically in Cuba, because obviously this guy's involved was specifically for the Cuba region.
And by the way, it is absolutely possible that other officers were assigned, hey, see what connections the Soviet Union has, what involvement they have in this. Because you want to delegate and split it so that people aren't overly broad, like you can focus in on one aspect of connections.
True. Again, we went broad stroke over all this. I mean, there's very good possibility we skipped over a lot of shit that could have had some relevance. So,
if it was important, it would have been highlighted.
Oh yeah, because we get highlighters on these old fucking typewriter.
You could add in Photoshop,
some neon fucking highlighter shit. Let's see. When I was released to meet with my agents in Miami, I recall leaving requirements on agents, AMG, something.
I think it was level. Is it leaving or I can't tell from here. Leveling requirements.
No, it says Oh
I
yeah,
recall.
you're right. I recall levying requirements on agents. I'm sure this is their code, and blah 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 blah. So this must be some sort of code for these CIA agents related to the Kennedy murder. Later, I asked political contacts and Cuban exile leader. There's another
That's his like
acronym.
code name, right? Like in the book,
Yeah.
like if you're a bookie.
Yeah, some sort of code name, AMING-3 and agent Ambleek-1. The same question. Oh, the same question. Okay, so here's the questions. Get me all possible data on Cuban exiles you know who disappeared just before or right after the Kennedy murder and has since been missing from Miami under suspicious circumstances. Okay, could be that question right there is saying, could this person have been involved in the murder? Could have been the second shooter. I'm only speculating. I'm not saying for sure. I'm speculating. And then to these other individuals, get me data on Cuban exiles who approached you or your associates during the fall of 63 for assistance in getting sizable amounts of funds, weapons, or cars. And it was to arrange for the assassination. Again, speculation. To this person and this person, give me a list of all Cuban exiles or Cubano Americans you consider to be capable of orchestrating the murder of President Kennedy in order to participate in armed conflict between Cuba and the USA. So I guess right there is kind of insinuating like this is to provoke an armed conflict.
Basically, he just went to his rats, right, and was like, "Yo, you know anybody that would be capable of this? You know anybody that may went missing? Like, who can I pin? Like, do you know anybody that fits this? You know what I mean? It just seems like, hey, that's it.
Yeah, and then he says the above questions levied on my agents were not my. Oh, of course, I gotta go through to a whole nother fucking. All right, let's go to. We gotta go to the next one.
Wait, wouldn't it be right underneath that?
No, there was only 4. That was page 4. We got to go to
that one right
2.
there, part 2.
Go, yeah. Oh, I think so. I think this is the last page.
Yeah, we fucking did
okay,
it.
so this is the last page, y'all.
Hour and a half.
All right,
I would have known.
Shut the fuck up.
It's positive. I think we're moving at a pretty good pace.
They
were not my own.
Were not my own. Own investigation. Not my own invention, but were the result of talk sessions held in the FI branch. FI branch has got to be something from foreign intelligence branch of the CIA. I think is what that means.
Yeah, man, he put so much unnecessary shit in this, but he never bothered to say in parentheses foreign investigation branch. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, shit. Come on, man. Everyone's got the internet. You can just look it up.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I think this was an internal thing that he was doing because he's not helping anyone out to understand some of these acronyms and shit.
No, absolutely. This is absolutely an internal. This is why, and this is something that's been like that's been fucking classified. This is new stuff that hasn't come out and fucking. Yeah, good. Donald R. Heath Jr., room 3D02, red 1591. Well, that tells you exactly who he is. All right. See, but were the results of talk sessions held in the FI branch of my station by our branch chief and my fellow case officers, many other angles, quotes, angles, and questions about Cuban links to the murders, to the murder, were assigned to specific agents, but I do not recall them all.
Yeah. So basically, they were workshopping like, all right, what do we know? Okay, we're Cuban. We're the Cuba. We're the Cuba guys. So let's look at what connections we could make. Throw everything on the wall. We have no idea. We want to make sure that Oswald was the lone. You know what I mean? Like there's nobody else involved. So let's check everything. Ideas.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, that's how you do an investigation, obviously. But again. Were they just throwing everything out there and seeing what sticks, or did they actually have some intelligence to believe that some of this stuff could have been happening?
I mean, I think that the basis would be that the connection between Oswald, the Soviet Union, and the Soviet Union in Cuba.
Okay, well, we still got 2 more paragraphs to find out, and then we can start putting our tinfoil hats on and start speculating.
I knew they weren't gonna reveal the smoking gun until the end.
Well, I mean, that's always how this fucking goes.
There better not be a to be continued.
I'm just happy to see there's no redactions in this. All right,
Yeah.
to be honest, I'm just happy there's no redact because a lot of that's one of the things that Trump said that he insisted that there's going to put the stuff out with no redactions. Their entire page is still redacted. Thankfully, none of this is, but yeah, there's still a lot of the documents. Not a lot, but there are some that have a lot of redactions. So somebody's disobeying the president's orders, I believe. Number 13, second to the last paragraph. Some weeks after the Kenedy murder, I think maybe saying
I went. That's his initials again because of the parentheses underneath it.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah. I went to Mexico for a meeting with my chief inside Cuba, agent this person, before I left station, comma, this person, period. Before I left station, I went to the reports office, requirements officer, and read through some
pertinent.
Oh, thank you. I'm being drunk. Plus, I have my fucking light like right here. Has been fucking with me.
You're doing a very good job reading.
Thank you. I appreciate that. List of requirements for on-island assets. I recall the questions included observations on island assets may have made the activities of leadership personnel in the Cuban government in the day prior to and immediately following the Kennedy murder.
Days prior to, yeah.
Yeah, I recall that in Mexico, this agent described to me talks he held the day subsequent to the murder with FNU Melendez Bach. This is a big section that's in parentheses.
Yes, a protocol officer.
So this is a protocol officer of the Cuban Foreign Relations Ministry. So that's another one where you're saying he put this whole section in parentheses and he's got a number over here. So
where would his initials be on this one though? That's weird.
This one just over here has 0608.
Yeah. I don't.
That must be some sort of CIA thing because I'm looking at,
I guess.
Like over here, like you keep on saying this is his initials over here. His initials are DH. This
right,
he always has an 01.
It may be an indicator too, or something, because you can every time the parentheses. So there's a pattern that every time he does parentheses, he puts the 01 or OI or 01 or OI. But the parentheses by his name, he has 0, looks like a 3 at his signature.
Yeah, you're right. And it's always this AMWEE-1 that he has parentheses 01 next to it.
Yeah.
It's always, I notice that's the only one. Every single time that one comes up, he puts that on there. So I'm guessing that must be some sort of an indicator that maybe he's saying this is somebody that he's indicating this is this person.
Right. I still think it may have something to do with making corrections to a document that's already typed out, because there at his signature, it's not parentheses, it's the other box, the box looking parenthesis thing, rather than at his signature at the bottom. Do you see? So that 03 may be the indicator of what is being added. So 01 would be parentheses, 03 would be whatever those fucking things are called that are parentheses like, but more box.
I will say that over here, I'm seeing another one.
Oh, look at that. Yeah.
There's no one right here. And this one is not in parentheses and doesn't have the 01. But it's the same one as every single other time. AMWEE-1 comes up. It's always in parentheses and has 01 next to it.
Leave it to us to be hyper focused on this, and it means nothing. Nothing at all. Everyone else is looking for smoking guns. We're like, wait a minute, this doesn't make sense.
By the way, this guy was super gay. That's what 01 means. That's the gay code for the CIA is 01.
Oh man.
All right, shit, you made me lose my place. Where was I? Let's see. Okay, I was up here where we were. Okay, FNU Melendez Bach, a protocol officer of the Cuban Foreign Relations Ministry, about what had transpired in the ministry when the news of Kennedy's death was received by wireless. Before I go, do you have something you want to say?
Well, yeah, there's somebody that popped in the chat, but it may have been too late because I was focused on that stuff. Said that the Anabar at Good Enough Homestead said saw you on Sergeant Talk TV on Tuesday. Can't stay, but wanted to say hi and we'll watch the rewind.
Yeah, what's up, Anabar? Yeah, I was on I popped on Sergeant's Talk the other day. Very cool fucking dudes. They're gonna be coming on here at some point. We're gonna do some class back and forth, and we're going to there's a Midwest meetup, completely unaffiliated with the Friday Night Tights crew, out in Oklahoma coming up in a couple weeks. I got Nick Weiser is gonna be going out there.
Oh, nice.
with me.
Oklahoma?
Yeah.
I lived in Tulsa for a while when I was going to aeronautics school there.
Oh no shit.
Yeah, I think Tulsa's a really nice city.
I've been wanting to go. I hear it actually is a bit of a shithole. But,
well, I mean, this was 2002 when I was there. It was
Oh,
different,
okay.
You know, it was,
So it's before
whoa.
Tulsa King. Gotcha.
Yep.
But yeah, it's some lake out there. I can't remember the name of the lake, but I'm going to put information out. This is all just like this last couple of days we've been talking about doing this, so I haven't make it. This is my official announcement right now, I guess.
Hardy Harmonica, I love that, says AMWEE-1 is his quote chief inside Cuba agent. So like this is his guy. This is his golden boy as far as inside like snitches and shit.
Okay, so that's got to be why he keeps on highlighting it. This is like for somebody. Hey, for quick reference, because we haven't invented highlighters yet.
Yeah.
Pay attention to this part. All right. So I still got my cursor in the same spot. I recall that night of the day that Kenedy was murdered. That person saw Osama bin Laden. No, Osmani Chief something Hispanic, a Cuban leader, drive up to the house across the street from that same person's house. This is what again? This is the chief inside Cuba
this
agent.
is his main snitch.
Okay, so
no sad
okay. At about 0100 hours, he stayed in that house for several hours. Okay. The house was occupied by an American expatriate technician who built audio surveillance gear for the Cuban intelligence service. Okay, a lot of secret school shit going on there. I recall that person, this is one time's not highlighted though.
Yeah.
Opined. Opined, or is that a misspelling?
No, it's opined. No, it means like this is his opinion or his interpretation of what happened without having any direct knowledge. So he's like, I think they were doing this in the house. Like I opined that they were having gay sex in there.
I'm mad. I know fancy words.
Oh, good for you.
That he opined that that this person with a very Hispanic name, Cienfuegos or some shit, visited the American that night because he was one of the few American sources the Cuban government could talk to in Cuba about what was going on in the U.S. as a result of Kennedy's murder.
Right. So he's saying that this Cienfuegos guy, the night of the assassination, he's like, fuck, what Americans do I know? Oh, this guy. And he goes over his house like, yo, what's happening, man? This is crazy. I don't know how Cuban accent would work. To be honest. I'm very like,
we got the tequila,
like east siding it. But the point is like
quesadilla.
Amy won, or whatever the Cuban equivalent is of quesadilla. Amy won is like, yo, so this dude goes to one of the only Americans that they actually have contact with. It was like, yo, did you see that shit? What the fuck is happening? Just like kind of get like, wow, that's crazy. You know what I mean?
Okay, but okay, let's clarify this again. Though he was saying that they saw somebody walk. Were they saying that this is somebody who pulled up and just sat outside, or somebody
no.
and came inside and stayed?
Yeah. Amy one lives across from this American dude, this expatriate that works for like the Cuban people. He saw Cienfuegos go to his house at 1 a.m. After the night of the assassination, and spent hours there. And he opines he thinks he did that because that dude was one of the few Americans that they could actually talk to, and he wanted to know, like, whoa, what's happening, man? Your country's crazy.
Okay. All right. So let's see this last paragraph then. In closing, I should point out that my involvement in seeking Cuban leads to the Kennedy murder was slight. other officers should have been more involved than I. I would assume Mr. Shackley has the clearest resolution of tasks. The station and any task, the station, any may. Sorry, my fucking dyslexia. The stat. Holy fuck, dude. It's getting that time of the night, I think. The station may have been given to support investigation of the Kenedy murder. One final remark about Miami Station investigation of the Kenedy murder, violations of Neutrality Act, and other developments. All of us were very well informed about the limitations on CIA's rights to conduct investigations of persons residing in the U.S., whether they were alien residents or U.S. residents. I do not recall anyone ever seeking information on security matters in the U.S. which was not related to Cuban exiles and their activities with respect to Cuba. On occasion, I would come across information indicating action by U.S. citizens by USA citizens to letter A, aid violating the Neutrality Act, or B, conduct espionage on behalf of foreign power. In such instances, I wrote up what I discovered and I sent it through station channels to the appropriate U.S. agencies concerned with the particular type of violation that was suspected, and then withdrew from further attempts to acquire information.
That whole thing was a note. I am aware that the CIA is not allowed to investigate U.S. citizens on U.S. soil, right. Like U.S. land. So this is the only time that I would see indications of it happening is in these very specific instances, and those were reported through the appropriate channels. That's to cover my ass. That's all that was, right. To cover the ass.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Are we at a to be continued? Because I'm going to be honest with you, I don't see the smoking gun.
I'll agree with you. I think that this is a deep investigation.
Yep.
A lot of assets being put into possible Cuban connections.
Right.
There was definitely the section, I'll get back over to it's in the other one, where they specifically want to ask people talking about possible data on Cuban exiles that you may know that relate to the murder, people who might have disappeared, people who were possibly raising assets, basically asking Cubans to find information that possibly could have tied to some form of conspiracy to kill Kennedy.
Yeah.
So the point of it is, you're right, it's not a smoking gun. However, when we were being told at the time, and we still have ever since then, we've been told it was Oswald and there was nobody else, no possible way at all. And there was obviously a lot of investigation. You're right that maybe there was deep investigation to Russia and everything else. But if they knew for a matter of fact that it was just Oswald, why put so many assets to do this?
Because if they didn't, people were like, well, how do you know no one else was involved? You didn't bother investigating anyone else's involvement. So what are you going to do? You're damned if you do, if you damned if you don't.
Do they go and talk to the Sharia whatever of fucking Iran because they could be involved?
Well, does Oswald have any type of connection with the Sharia Iranian whatever?
My point is, like, there's never been any ties to Cuba. You're right. I mean, we've already agreed that Cuba was tied to Russia, but there's never been any indication that Oswald had any connection to Cuba at all. So why be doing such a deep investigation into Cuba? And the man in here, he put out so much information. Again, we
about one source
through the filler, but I think that a lot of what we skipped over was a lot of his cover his ass.
Yes,
because I think, again, I'd have to go read through this. My guessing in the next 48 hours is going to be other people who are going to point out a lot of what we missed. But I think, again, I agree with you. It's not a smoking gun.
No,
but I think there's a lot to point out here. That I think there's a lot of investigation into Cuba, and the big question is going to be why. If we knew it was just Oswald, then why?
So, because the only way we know that it's Oswald is because we investigated to see if there was connections with other people, right? I mean, and also this doesn't show a lot. All this is one guy, and in his investigation, everything he talks about is coming from his one source in Cuba. So there could be several agents that have the exact same type of memo out there detailing what they did during this investigation into connections with Cuba. So that was one agent who, by the way, was suspended at the time of the assassination, and it was lifted 4 days later for him to be involved again, probably because he has that connection to the dude down in Cuba, Ames 1. By the way, just saying.
You know what? That's because he was saying that suspension happened before, right before, right?
I don't know how I don't know how long before, but he 4 days after the assassination, that suspension was lifted. He was in the FBI or the CIA headquarters, the little station, the day of the assassination. He was suspended, but saw it happen and came in Johnny Rico in what is it? Starship Troopers, right? When he's like, I know I just quit, but I didn't know a comet was going to hit my hometown. Now I'm back involved. Kind of the same thing. I know I'm suspended, but they killed our president. I want in. Be damned with the regulations.
I don't think it works the same in the CIA that it works when you got co-ed showers and fucking Starship Troopers.
Oh my God, this was before DEI. They had no women there.
I mean, my tinfoil hat is going to did they want to bring him in because either he's incompetent or he could be a fall guy for this? I mean, that's something I'm thinking of, because you're right. I think the fact that he was on no, that's the wrong section. He was on some sort of administrative leave because
of finance. He said, I wasn't keeping up with my finance. What that sounds like is, in other words, they found a lot of money that he can't account for in his finance account or whatever. And they suspended him.
So, but
oh shit, maybe this guy.
That just raises more fucking suspicions
about the CIA. Yeah, well, now he was suspended because they found some things in his financial account. However, what do you think that he was like, damn it, they suspended me. Who do I know in Cuba that can contact somebody that killed this president, so they'll have to bring me back in?
Yeah, but at the same time, it could be like, okay, we can have leverage on this dude.
Right. Yeah, that's why he was suspended. But then the JFK happened, and this guy has a top tier source in the Cuban government, Ames 1 or whatever, and they need to contact him. So they unsuspend him to utilize his assets.
So I know that Jim here is saying I'm right, not you. Matt's never right. Thank you, Jim.
I'll be honest,
for agreeing with me.
Sometimes I don't keep up with all the nonsense that I say, so I'm not sure what specifically you're referring to, because I feel like I can spit out a lot of things there.
I'm kind of drunk right now, so I don't know either. Yeah. It's 1:30 for me right now. I was already drinking a bit before this, and then fucking Blue Cordell bought me 3 fucking shots. So I'm amazed that I got through that fucking document in
only 2 hours. I think that's pretty good timing for us, to be honest. And we limited the sidetracks as much as we could.
Yep. As far as it goes with doing a whole fucking InfoWars investigation into a conspiracy like this, I think this actually went really fucking well.
Yeah. I think we compete with them and Daily Wire or anybody else. What's up? By the way, if you're looking for a new CEO, I am available over at Daily Wire. Heard you have an opening.
Again, I think Jim is saying I got it. It's me. Yeah, I was the one who's
He's as vague as Henry. What was that guy's name?
Henry.
Whoever the guy we just read his whole fucking memo.
Oh,
as vague as that dude. I do love the cover your own ass at the end though. That was pretty slick.
Oh yeah. I mean, again, I think it really looks like there's that possibility. I'm only theorizing tinfoil hat that he got brought in because they wanted this investigation to be fucked up. They didn't want the real information to come out, so they got somebody who was fucked up. I mean, this guy he was fucking suspended. He's on his last fucking rope, and then all of a sudden he realizes halfway through, I'm being set up here, so I'm gonna there's no way I'm putting all my cover my ass on there here as possible.
Yeah, to some degree. I think they brought him in because they wanted to find out, and he has the best asset in the Cuban government. But I think you're onto something with he's like, wait, hold the fuck on. They ain't putting this shit on me. I'm right. I'm
It
taking
very
this
well
shit
could be
out.
why he include that in the report.
Right,
Like,
Deborah,
why else was I brought in? I was fucking suspended. Why are they bringing me in now?
Deborah, get your 1960s fucking housewife ass in, not housewife, office secretary ass in here and type this up. Quote.
All right, let's fucking wrap this up,
To
man.
whom it may concern. It ain't me. They said
whom it may concern. Fuck this shit. I'm out. You guys trying to set me up? I owe you. Fuck you. But no, I think there's a lot of stuff in there. I guarantee, like, there's going to be the people who are going to be able to tie things together. Like, I'm going to watch. Okay, again, I think that at this point, it shouldn't be shameful to say, "Hey, I watch Alex Jones sometime." I think I like going to Alex Jones because he actually puts out the real fucking information. He ain't hiding shit. All right.
To a higher percentage he's given credit, he puts out the correct information. I would say that.
It's not always right. I guarantee. I know he hasn't been right about everything, but hashtag Alex Jones right about a lot of shit. So I'm going to look at the analysis going to come out tomorrow. I'm going to look at, I'm going to bet they're going to have Roger Stone on. He's going to tie a lot together, and I'll be very curious to see, because I'll bet he's going to be able to tie names together and say, this is this person, this is this person, this is who this was. And we're going to learn a lot tomorrow. So
hopefully they're basing it on more than what we read, because if it's going to be coming from that, I don't know how much they're going to add.
Context matters. We got this one document. We read it first. Y'all heard it here first. Don't forget that. Vets Talking. If you haven't seen it already, Vets Talking drops Junior on me. Make sure you double tap that like and subscribe. Guys, have been going for 2 hours.
Yep.
Blue Cordell, thank you for the $60, man. Really appreciate the fuck out of you, dude. I wasn't expecting anything. I thought I was just gonna sit here and talk for 2 fucking hours and not be drinking. I was hoping to just watch my movie, but this is cool, dude. I was happy to get through that. I was very curious what was going to happen with that. Matt, you got anything you want to pitch?
Yeah, real quick. I put the link to my new channel in the private chat. If you could throw that into the chat for me, I would appreciate it. Start a new channel every having a lot of fun. Every Tuesday, we me, Lil Chad, Brahma Bull, all the regulars, we get together, and Lil Chad is basically, it's like Mystery Theater 3000 meets the History Channel. We talk about a story from history. We've done the Fenians trying to invade Canada. We did Prince Alfred when he visited Australia. Hugh Glass from Revenant, the real story behind that guy. And we have a lot of fun. We riff on it and break it down. Tuesday, 9:15 Central PM. This Tuesday, the girlfriend will be joining us for the first time. And we're going to be talking about the 1904 Olympics. And you have no idea how bananas the 1904 Olympics were. I'll give you a hint. Yeah, it lasted over 7 months.
We had fucking Hitler. My heart goes out to you for the Olympics.
Well, it lasted for 7 months, the 1904 Olympics. It was joined in with a World Fair there, and it was all used by the guy that was running it. Was using it to prove that the white athlete is better than any other, and so he would have them try to play tennis without giving them any instruction. It's a banana story. It's crazy
shit,
and that's just just a tip of it.
You're gonna be like a fucking burnt version of the Fat Electrician doing this shit, or what?
Well, basically, we're just like mad fapping a story. I don't know what the Fat Electrician guy is. Sounds.
You don't know who the Fat Electrician is?
No.
Oh, dude, he's like the #1 fucking military historian on the fucking internet right now.
Oh,
no, look him up, dude. I'm telling you,
I'll look him up. I'll look him up.
Like, I mean, there are stories out there. Like this dude, he was a fucking medic in the army. He's still a younger dude too. He's not old. Like, he's younger than me, I think. No, I know he is like 35, I think. Yeah, he puts this information out there. He'll tell these stories, and it's like so entertaining. He knows all the key points. He fucking hits, and he managed to edit the video very well. But holy shit,
that's basically what we're doing. Except you have a group of guys interrupting the story to make jokes and riff and have a lot of fun with it. So it's basically the same thing. We also talked about
bang. That's him. He does
the Dr. Lilly when he was given LSD to dolphins, and it had one of his aides live with the dolphin. She had to jerk him off because she was trying to teach him to speak so that we could communicate with aliens. It's the whole thing. That was there was a lot to that story as well. We covered that one.
Holy shit. Well, we got to hear about that one for sure. Jim is up in fucking St. Louis. Hell yeah, dude. I'm right down here, Lake of the Ozarks, man.
Oh, St. Louis. That's where the 1904 Olympics took place. Was in St. Louis.
Oh, no shit. Okay.
Yep.
Oh, I thought he like I'm fucking drunk, so I thought I might have made reference to where I was at. So
It's not all about you. Gosh.
I like how it's fun. I like how there's a lot of people around here. Like Nick Wise is up in
Chicago.
In Chicago. This FNT Smoking Man, Cash, he's up in Kansas City. I got a lot of people around my area around here. I know Chai is laughing so hard. You're just laughing at us because we're a bunch of fucking idiots. I know. All right, I'm gonna check out of here. Clint says, "Per fat electrician, don't touch the USA boat." Yes, that's a video he did recently. You don't. This is like he gave the example of the first, like when we create our Navy, and dude, like the fucking that story. If you haven't heard, when we create our Navy and we created the Marines to go take out the fucking the Persian pirates, is crazy. Like they went against Congress basically by finding a loophole. I said, okay, yeah, we're not going to attack them, but we're going to attack them.
That's
and
crazy.
It was nuts. So when you hear from Ewood, from the shores of Tripoli, that whole thing is a fucking insane story, dude. Go look up the Fat Electrician and the story about how our Navy got started. And
I'm making a note of it now. But I have a story on deck about the Willie D, which was a ship during World War II that fired a torpedo at a carrier that had the president on it.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Dude, I know you'll do good with this. Yeah, you'll do very good.
We're having fun
with these videos. I know you'll.
We have like 9 in. We're still messing with the formula. Trying to get it really, really good. Perfect it. So it's a work in progress, but it's going well.
Check out at Mad's new channel, you guys. Go subscribe over there. It's that sounds like it's gonna be a good fucking blast. But also, guys, if you haven't already, please do double tap that like and subscribe over here at Vets Talk. And we're on all the social medias at Vets Talk, and drop the G and follow me. Greatly appreciate. Coming up soon, we're gonna have Sergeant's Talk coming up, and one up. Oh, I can't remember the fucking name. A group of fucking Air Force special operators. It's a fucking awesome. They got like 100,000 subscribers over there. Very cool fucking dudes. They're eager to come on. They all want to get fucked up and drink this over here. So please do check this out. Come over here and check out other live streams coming up. Guys, thank you very much for being here. We'll be going for 2 hours just talking about this one fucking story. Thank you guys so very much. Usually we are doing Knife Hands on Thursdays. Our regular time is at 8 o'clock Eastern. Today is an extreme exception. I can't thank you guys enough for having been here over here on YouTube and on both of my Twitters. And I think we're on Facebook. I'm not sure. But guys, thank you very much for being here. If you haven't already, you can share us out there with everyone because you don't got to be a veteran to be here at Vets Talking. Just don't get butt hurt.
Open those arms!
Oh, God!